I watched the reveal trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero at 0.25% speed, and this is what I found. Starting off with the presented by Bandai Namco screen. Now, this is also Bandai's new updated logo. They changed it, I think, a year or so back. It doesn't matter. But new logo on the mountain stage, where, of course, this is where Goku and Vegeta had their first battle back in Dragon Ball Z. Now, this is just whatever, but it does feel like a bit of a reboot, because if you guys remember, back in the Xenoverse 1 reveal trailer, the E3 2014 trailer, they also showed this here with Goku, well, this stage with Goku and Vegeta fighting each other. So I know it's the stage where they fought, but it does kind of just feel like a little bit of a reboot. Then we see two figures just going all over the place to be revealed as Goku and Vegeta. Now, I believe this Goku is Goku from Dragon Ball Super Broly, but I'm not fully sure what version of Vegeta this is. It's definitely at least Tournament of Power Vegeta because of the armor. It probably is just that version of Vegeta, so not really too much detail to go into there. A new Budokai Tenkaichi begins, even though nowhere in the title does it say Budokai Tenkaichi. Yes, Sparking is the Japanese version, but in the West we tend to get a Budokai Tenkaichi name instead of a Sparking name. I prefer the name, by the way. I love the name Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. An absolute reboot and actually a bit of a sequel. Going into actual gameplay and cutscenes now with Goku and Vegeta, you can see if you look closely, there is going to be some sort of battle damage at least. Whether or not it's going to actually be, clothing destruction, or if it's just going to be marks, as you can see on Goku's leg here. Fantastic stuff. Moving forward, we can see a bit of a scrap in the air, and Vegeta vanishes. I forget the name of the vanish that you could do over and over and over again to go behind your opponent in the Tenkaichi series, and I forget if it's in Raging Blast as well. So do let me know what that's called in the comments. Do remind me, please, and thank you. But Vegeta does that and then slams Vegeta. No, he doesn't. He slams Goku down. Then you can see Vegeta goes for a fully... well, we don't know if it's fully charged, but for a super attack, the Gadget Gun. Now here, his aura is white, which makes sense because he's in his base form. But I just hope they make the auras a little bit more dynamic. For example, if you go for Gadget Gun while in, let's say, for example, Super Saiyan 2, instead of making the aura white, have it yellow or, like the Super Saiyan Golden. That's me being hypercritical up there. I won't lose sleep. If that's not added, it doesn't matter. Then, as Vegeta launches the Gadget Gun towards Goku, firstly, I just love the effects, like the lighting on the rock formations. Absolutely fantastic. It just makes it more immersive. It just looks great. Then as the Gadget Gun actually approaches Goku, you can see Goku, it looks like he's putting his right hand towards his head, or rather towards his forehead, to naturally vanish out the way via an instant transmission. Now, I don't know if that is the case or not, or rather if that's just a unique animation for specifically Goku, and maybe if Goku Black gets added or what have you, and it's just a bit of an Easter egg maybe. I don't know. But if you guys remember what Goku's doing here, it's either when, for example, playing like the Raging Blast and the Tenkaichi games, you could click, I believe it was X at the right time when a beam attack was about to hit you to then vanish out the way, like this right here, or maybe some sort of automatic vanish if you have a character that has a skill, for example, such as Wild Sense, which required Ki to activate or to set up, then it would activate automatically in certain scenarios. For example, if you were about to be hit by a beam attack. So yeah, then when Goku reappears, he stands still for a moment, so it's not automatic, but he stands still for a moment. Then you can see he goes for a Kamehameha super attack on his own. So do keep in mind that it's not completely automatic, where if you vanish and then when you reappear, you'll go for a super attack immediately. Nope, you'll have to go for that manually, and then the super attack is fired towards Vegeta with some rather nice impact frames. Going back to Vegeta, finally, after I don't know how many games and years, we will now be able to deflect at least some key-based super attacks. Now, when I first saw this, I thought he was deflecting it back towards Goku, but now if you watch it very carefully, and it actually bends, which is quite nice, he deflects it towards, well, Vegeta deflects it on his left, but it's just a little bit weird because this was a bit disorientating watching, because the direction of that Vegeta's hand goes doesn't, to me at least, reflect the way or the direction the beam is going in. Maybe that's just me overthinking it, but something just doesn't look quite right there to me. Next up, we have a rather nice scene of Vegeta and Goku turning Super Saiyan Blue cross screen, or rather, I guess, well, cross screen, what have you. Now, do keep in mind that, and this is confirmed, at least as of right now, local multiplayer is not going to be included. Unfortunately for some, for me, don't particularly care because online, right? But it does look like online will have a maximum of 2 players. So I don't know if that means team matches will be 5 on 5. If team matches will make a return, we'll have to wait and see. But unless this is just for the purposes of the trailer, it kind of gives me the impression that to maybe reduce gameplay being slowed down too much, or rather being interrupted too much, it looks like you may be able to transform at the same time your opponent's transforming, and you'll both have, like, you know, the animation play out on your screen, with the screen being, well, in 2. Next up, we have Goku and Vegeta while in their Super Saiyan Blue forms, which looks great, by the way. Goku going for it looks like a Super Kamehameha Ultimate, and Vegeta going for the Final Flash. Now, this part here doesn't say actual gameplay or what have you, so this may just be a bit of a cutscene for the purposes of the video. If it is gameplay, then, well, this is a beam struggle, and that means beam struggles finally are back after, once again, how long? What was the last game that was in Tenkaichi 3? Raging Blast 2, rather, or Ultimate Tenkaichi. Screen goes to black, then when we come back, we have Final Form Frieza. Not really a surprise, but there's a ton of characters in this game which has been confirmed, and I don't think you guys are ready. If you've not seen what I'm about to show you, you're going to be... And I don't mean what in the trailer, I mean what I'm about to show you that's been confirmed after the trailer was dropped. Just wait. So we have Final Form Frieza. I would assume this also means first form, second form, third form. Naturally, we have fourth form. Then maybe 100% max power Frieza. And, I mean, I think it's fairly obvious that Golden Frieza will be in. Frieza going for the, I forget the name of the attack, Death Ball, but it's like the Supernova. It's the skill he uses to destroy Planet Namek. And he then says, oh, there's 5 minutes left. So that's very specific there. We actually, well, right now, we actually are on a semi-destroyed Planet Namek. And I'm getting Jump Force vibes, by the way. Same developer, same engine. So just keep that in mind for better or for worse. Yeah, so Frieza goes and destroys the planet, or rather uses the attack. And unless this is very clever editing, yes, stage destruction, once again, is coming back. All of the key features from Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. And this is them labeling this as a direct evolution, by the way, as in a sequel. So that's fantastic. Nice little cutscene there of the, well, Planet Namek, Planet Nimrock being destroyed. And then we have, weirdly enough, Final Form Frieza keeping up with Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, which, I mean, that's a surprise in itself, because I would have thought they would have just maybe have shown Golden Frieza. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So yes, next we then have Ikari Broly Rage from Dragon Ball Super Broly, using Gigantic Rage on Super Saiyan Blue Goku, like in the movie. Rather nice effect there. Break the heavens, don't mind if I do. Broly then transforms into Super Saiyan. Oh, that's the thumbnail. That's fantastic. Then, again, a bit of a... I don't know if it's a cutscene, but you've got Goku just flying towards Broly, like how he does in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. And then we have a range of characters, those being Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, Shinhan, Yamcha, Future Trunks, but it's specifically the Saiyan armor version of Future Trunks, like when he's training with Vegeta in the Room of Sputan Time, and when he returns to the future to then defeat the androids of his timeline, then Cell. And that's that's such a big thing to be added for what's about to be shown, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Then we have Android 18, Perfect Cell, which that looks gorgeous, Hercule, Majin Buu, and for like a not even a frame, but it's like less than a frame, we then have Sword of Hope. I believe it's technically going to be Super Saiyan Rage Future Trunks from Dragon Ball Super. So they've added two versions of Trunks. I know it's the same character, but it's different times in the series to the trailer, which just goes to show that this is going to have a ridiculously big character roster. Then you have Bergamo from the Trio Don Dendria. Very nice for like half a second. Going for like Wolfang Fist, and for even less time, you have Ranger 17, Android 17, specifically from the Tournament of Power. We then have Jiren, and if you pause very quickly, El Hermano, the brother, very nice. Yeah, and then you go back to Bergamo for a second, and then back to Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Fantastic stuff right there. Before we then get the official name reveal of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Fantastic stuff. And you can now wish list the game. I think as of this upload, I think they said the PS5 version will be like the coming soon screen will be up. I don't know. But yeah, some quite interesting information here. So again, Spike Churnsoft, who did the Raging Blast games and the Tenkaichi games, and maybe, again, concerningly enough, maybe, Jump Force, but that's neither here or there, that's whatever. And it's coming for right now, PS5, Xbox Series X, and Steam. No mention of past gen, which isn't really a surprise, especially how far we are into the current generation, but which may be a little bit more surprising is that nowhere does it mention anything about Nintendo or the Nintendo Switch. But with that said, don't worry, because when Xenoverse 1 first came out, it came out in early 2015. Xenoverse 2 came out in late 2016. Then the Nintendo Switch was released in, I believe, March of 2017. I'm only mentioning that because the Nintendo Switch, or rather the Nintendo consoles, tend to come out a few years after like the main consoles, like the PlayStation and whatever they call the Xbox, for a generation. So I do have a feeling that when this game comes out, which I think, 2024, 2025 maybe, the following year, it will be released for whatever that year's Nintendo console is. Again, that is not confirmed, and it probably won't be confirmed for a very long time, but to me, it just makes complete sense. And although I don't think I have any native Japanese viewers. If you are, then konnichiwa. But it looks like right now that it's not going to be available for Steam in Japan. I don't know how many people that's going to affect who are going to be watching this video, but I do think it's worth mentioning right there. And of course, we've got this coming out on the Unreal Engine, which it's not really a surprise that it's coming out, or rather, it's being used and made on Unreal Engine 5. Okay, after the trailer came out, we actually had some massive information which you may have missed. What is that information? Well, it's this right here. Okay, so according to DBS Hype, he knew about this about a month ago. Thanks for telling me. But he posted, and it's been revealed in a press release, that Sparking Zero is going to have, and I quote, it's going to have a historic number of playable characters, each with signature abilities, transformations, and techniques. So not every single character is going to have a transformation. For example, if a Cyberman gets added as a playable character, you can't really give them a proper transformation unless it's just like a generic high tension mode, full power mode, etc, etc, etc. So I think it's going to be a case of if a character can transform, they will, right? So I do think that's basically what it means right there. Now, do keep in mind that this doesn't necessarily confirm each and every single character from specifically Tenkaichi 3, but if it does, great, but just don't go into it thinking that. I'd love to be proven wrong, but we'll have to wait and see. And also, this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have a quote-unquote historic number of playable characters, mind you. very detailed there. On launch, it could be either a case, or we know there's going to be DLC, right? So it could also be in the case of, you know, paid DLC, maybe a free update or two. We don't know. We have to wait and see. And also, according to DBS Hype, there's going to be characters here from going all the way from the original Dragon Ball, as in Dragon Ball like Kid Goku, Demon King Piccolo, etc., etc., all the way through to the upcoming Dragon Ball Dynamax, which is being released fall, I believe they said, of 2024. So about, give or take, a year as of this upload. Yeah, so I watched the trailer in slow motion about 50 times, and that's what I found. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.